Someone doesn't like his costume.
I get up when you get down to this. Keep cool, but still get loud to this. When it drops, just can't deny. The mic turned off, but I'm amplified, so if you...
Today you will need 3½ cups of bread flour, 3/4 of a stick of softened butter, 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, and 1/4 cup of white sugar, 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 2/3 of a cup of whole milk. You also need an egg. So to begin, I'm just going to combine certain things, my milk and my egg, pumpkin puree, butter, and all of my dries, including my sugars. Add all of my dry ingredients. And even though this is a dough, we're not going to use the dough hook, we're going to use the paddle attachment. Let this mix together on speed 1, and then add our butter. And just let it incorporate. Once the butter is incorporated and there are no large pieces, we're going to stream in our milk and our egg. Once everything is pretty moist, we're going to add our pumpkin. Now we're going to add our pumpkin puree all at once. And then let this mix until everything is incorporated and it forms a sticky dough. It's going to take a couple minutes. Let it mix for a little bit longer, just so you form some gluten. Then we're going to take this out and transfer it into a bowl to allow the dough to rest. I'm going to wrap this with plastic wrap. Just let it rest for about 30 minutes. So while that's resting, we're going to make our filling. So for the filling, I'm going to use the same bowl. All this is going in the same place anyway. Once we have all our ingredients in the bowl, paddle attachment, beat it all together. So it's going to be like a very wet sand. Very, very interesting. Once 30 minutes have passed, we're going to take our dough and we're going to put it onto a floured surface and we're going to roll it out. Unwrap our dough. The dough is really sticky. Lightly flour the top. I'm going to roll this into a rectangle. Once you have a rectangle, about 1/4 inch thick, we're going to put our filling on. So just spread it evenly. And we're going to leave about 1 inch along the top to adhere. Grab a little bit of water, moisten the very top, that little bit that you left bare. Now we're going to start at the very bottom and I'm going to roll. So I'm going to tug and then I'm going to tuck. Tug and tuck. I'm taking the bottom, pulling, and then folding it over, and then pulling again. Repeat going down. Once you have a nice thick roll, just roll it up. And then just grab it and kind of pull so that it's all one even thickness. Once it's all even, grab a serrated bread knife and we're going to cut our rolls. So chop off the funny edge. And you want to cut these to be about 1.5 inches tall. Use a brisk movement when you're cutting them to make it nice and clean. Put them right into our pan. So then we have our cinnamon rolls. Now we're going to let these sit and proof until they're doubled in size. To help these to proof, I'm going to wrap them in plastic wrap, set them somewhere that's relatively warm so that they get to puff up. So finally, for the frosting, whisk it together, turns into a frosting. Once they've doubled in size, I'm going to pop them into a 350-degree oven and bake them for about 20 minutes. Baked. They're gonna look like this. Nice and brown on top, but they're still kind of light. They're still that nice orangey color. Then I'm gonna take my frosting that I made, drizzle it right over the top. Thanks a lot for baking me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next week.